Happy New Week to you. It is Monday the 18th of March, and we are back in the shop. If you are watching this, again, I just want to make a note. If you're not a DiveTribe, a leader patron member, you're seeing this 2 weeks late. You'll still get all this content, you're just not going to get it as we're going, which means you may be missing out on some opportunities to buy some cool stuff because everybody else is going to get first crack at it. All that said, still have some RC submarine awesomeness with you. My name's Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy, and this is
Logan.
And we're all about RC submarines. Let's get started. So a little bit of work this morning already. We packed up some orders, and Logan made a bunch of our magnetic click-on connectors. We're now set for stock for those now, which is always good. You don't need to build those to order anymore. You'll see Seaview, the 80-inch Seaview, not the big 102-inch Seaview that caused all that drama last week. This one was, in theory, 100% all ready to go, and Ed and I were going to be taking this out to the pond on Saturday, but we had this intermittent failure of the servos, and what it turned out to be was the connection between the Watertight box and the waterproof servos. Now, this is what I had been doing. This is basically a brass tube that fits over a brass pin, and then you've got this silicone tube that waterproofs the connection. But what it actually ended up being, the tolerance between the tube and the rod, even though it feels tight, is just not tight enough to make a reliable connection. And so I just bit the bullet. Ed and I talked, and we replaced all of them with these waterproof connectors. You can get these on Amazon, 3-pin waterproof connectors. This is what they look like, the bag that they come in. You can see little 3-wire connectors, perfect for servos. And you can get these in 2-pin and more, in different gauges of wire and that kind of thing. So just tested this. It's working really good. The radio's charging up. I think this is going to be going out to Sylvan Rodriguez on Saturday for Fitz's Fun Float. So that'll be the inaugural launch of Seaview, and probably the big Akula that we lost the prop for on Saturday. I have a new prop printing right now, and that's going to be a filament print. I'm going to check the strength and rigidity of that. I may laminate it with some carbon fiber. We'll see. If that doesn't work out, I can always commercially print it like it was before on a nylon. But that's going to take a couple of weeks, and I really want this done before then. What we are going to do now is move Seaview out of here and stage up the new Shark, because that's a push for us here this coming week. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick look at the new Salon kit for 48-inch Nautilus. All right, this is the new Salon kit. I'm overall pretty happy. We need to do a little bit of tweaking to make it perfect. This is completely serviceable as it is, but we just want to make it bulletproof. This is what the assembled pipe section looks like. These just press fit, friction fit. It's pretty awesome. Those are the 3 sections right there, so you can see those all go together. The end pieces, I'm going to increase the size of this hutch. Now, I sized it to fit in here, thinking that this would be more of like a forced perspective thing. This is all messed up because obviously there's no way to fit the Salon interior into the boat. So this area is probably going to be a little bit of forced perspective. This, I'm going to make the writing desk a little bigger to take up in here, and maybe take away a chunk there or something like that. We'll figure that part out. But the specimen table looks super cool. The settee couches look perfect in there. The organ, I think I'm just scale it down just a little bit. It's okay, but I'm gonna make it just a tiny bit smaller, I think. Organ pedals, there's the fountain. These, for some reason, I I don't know, I must have made a mistake when I uploaded the files. These are half size, these are 77 scale, so I just got to scale up the teardrop couches because they slip over these pipes right here, so they'll end up being increased in size. But all in all, this looks really good. It's going to go together really easily, and massive opportunity for detailing on here if you want to put, you know, bookshelves and tables and, you know, all of that stuff. I'll probably include files that you can print out for carpets and runners and all that kind of stuff. So this is looking really good. The replacement parts for the first 6 kits that I ordered, I'll just manufacture here on my high definition printer, so that I don't need to order those from overseas. But all the new ones will come directly in the revised size. But I'm pretty stoked. Man, what a gorgeous day. It's like 70 degrees and sunny at 9:30 in the morning. Gonna work on the shark. So this is what we got going on here. These gigantic motors are way oversized compared to what I would normally put in there. And that was at the customer's request. So this has got to get opened up, and I've got to engineer a new hold down system for the thrusters, whereby they will be mounted solidly, but also be capable of being removed in case of maintenance and or repair or replacement. Not a big deal. I will cut these out, and I've already got an idea, which we'll show you. The other thing I've got to do is slit these gills, and then what we're going to end up doing is heating this area of resin up and folding out the gills so they come outward at about a 40-degree angle. Open up this whole area as much as possible because we want it to equal or exceed this surface area less the central hub, which shouldn't be bad. I think it's very doable. So got the old trusty Dremel out. Now we're going to make some dust. So what are you working on here?
I am sanding and cleaning up the Gato. It's actually in surprisingly good shape. We thought we'd have to go over and re-glue all of the railings. However, this is all solid brass.
Yeah, that's like bulletproof.
The only single part that's definitively broken is right here,
which that just needs to swivel and get tacked down. Yeah, so this is an angle hull, but Logan's basically just like cleaning it up, right? Overall, looks pretty good. We're missing our guns, except for one, which came. David gave us that one. So I got to look up the specs, and we'll find out if that was a duplicate gun up front or if it was a different gun, and then the anti-aircraft cannons up on the deck here. And then we'll maybe take a look at some reference material, see what we can do to clean this up. Oh, look at that, just fixed it. See what that is all supposed to look like up there. Just make it look good. You know, we'll get rid of these old decals. We'll put a fresh coat of paint on this, and I think it's going to look like a real cool boat. I've not seen inside this because it's all been taped up. I have no idea what's in there. Oh, and then we need to repair these.
Oh, yeah.
Forward and aft eye planes. Progress on the shark. You know, we need to come up with a new name for the shark. There was Sharky McSharkface, Chuckles, and now we need a new name. So drop your suggestions down below. I want to know what you think we should name this version 3 shark. Well, this is what we've got going on here. Opened up these holes, slotted the gills. Now these have not been bent, but the ones on the other side have. This is all rigged up. We modified the outside so that it fits flush, and then I made these aluminum brackets that'll bolt in place. Now what I'm also going to do is run a bead of RTV around that'll perfectly seal this unit against the body, making it kind of waterproof. We won't have any backflow. And then it'll also allow you to remove it if you need to. 2 bolts, and there's lots of room. You can actually reach in through the mouth of the shark. Ouch. He's got sharp teeth. Ow, he bit me. And on this side, I've opened up all those gills. So you've actually got some pretty decent flow through in there. I calculated it out, and it's exceeds the surface area of the thruster. So we shouldn't back pressure too much. And then I think the calculated area of the thruster is significantly less than the mouth for both. So I think we're good there. Took me this amount of time to slit and cut and drill and bend and all of that stuff. This side's all done. Now I've just got to heat and bend this side and bracketize this propulsor unit. And this will basically be done. I'll throw some black paint inside so you don't see it when you look through the gills. And that'll be done. And then we can move on to gluing his head and butt on. Productive day. I'm pretty happy with how things turned out. I got a lot of orders shipped out. Mondays are always poopy because I got to ship out all the orders that came in over the weekend. But I'm happy to say that Type 7 that we featured in last week's video ended up sold a few hours ago. So I'm super excited about that. We're going to be putting a new paint job on that this week. Lots of progress on Shark. Let's take a look. So these motors are mounted. All of the gills have been opened, adjusted. We got good flow through there. I painted the inside black. So now when you look in, they're just kind of like dark in there and not white. Motors are mounted. They're sealed in place. 2 stainless bolts, and then you should be able to work and pry those out if you need to. And there's lots of room inside. So you can, if you need to, obviously get to them and extract them, albeit with a little bit of work. But I think that's going to work out really well from a long-term perspective. So tomorrow we are going to be adhering Sharky's, or Shark, or Chuckles, or whatever we're going to end up calling him, Bruce, his head and his butt, or at least part one of his butt. Right here, the tail, we'll be laying up fiberglass along the perimeter to make sure that doesn't come apart, nice and strong. And that done, throwing the tail on is just a matter of a few minutes, just a couple of pins, and that's done. So after all that, we are going to be moving on to the Watertight box, and the Watertight box is going to house something like an 8 amp hour lithium polymer battery pack. Give it lots of runtime, hopefully, depending on how heavy a foot the owner is with it. Obviously, electronic speed controllers. We've got to figure out radio situation, figure out what radio we're going to put in this thing. Everything is working really well so far. I'm really happy with it. Logan did some great things with the Gato. Let's take a look at that. So again, this was an Engel Gato. He sanded down a lot of this rough deck thing. It's kind of got like an anti-skid coating on it, which looks pretty cool actually. And now that we painted it, this looks really nice. I think with a nice weathering job, this will be a beautiful boat, which we're going to do. I'm going to weather this up so that it looks really cool. We're working on sourcing new guns for the conning tower. We'll have to fabricate a new periscope majigger right there, and get the dive planes mounted in here, paint up the inside, make it all nice and pretty. This is going to be a beautiful boat for somebody. Honestly, it's going to be gorgeous. I'm halfway considering thinking about putting this in my build queue for a gentleman that's already ordered a Gato boat. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll take some pictures, send it to him. Save me a hell of a lot of time. That'd be awesome. And that R&R cylinder is pretty darn slick. Beautiful piece of work. Gonna wrap up here, head back in, check out all the emails and everything that I've missed. One last thing. Got the prop for Akula, replacement props, all done. Just threw a little coat of paint on there. It's gonna look nice. Just kind of a roughy, weathery looking bronze color. Again, this is like almost 5 inches in diameter, and you can be darn sure that we are going to be Loctiting and set screwing this thing down. It is not going to come off. There's a big like 1024 stainless set screw that's going to lock that down on a flat on the shaft. and Loctited, like I said. Now, the other good thing about this, Russian boats had counterclockwise props. Previously, it was a clockwise prop, and I have to take responsibility for that. I had sent it to Dwayne without doing my proper research, so that when you punch the throttle, it'll unscrew if something happens. Now that it's the proper counterclockwise, if you punch the throttle and something gives, it'll just torque itself down on the shaft a little bit more. So making me feel a little bit better about this whole situation. That's it for today. We'll catch you tomorrow. So it's Tuesday, and we are back out at the top secret test facility getting ready to throw this Type 23 surface runner in the water. Just make sure that it works, and most importantly, get some cool footage, not only for you guys, but the new owner. So we're gonna fire it up, drop it in the water. All right, pretty close. There we go. Oh yeah, skillful maneuvering. So we got a bit of a truncated day today. We need to go drop Renee off to the airport. She has a business trip, and we're going to grab some lunch first. But we got lots done here today. We got this cool Type 23 all done, tested, working perfectly. We're going to let it dry out and start getting prepped to ship it out to the new owner. Work on the Gato here. We're just cleaning this up right now, but it's turning out really good. Got all the linkages worked out. These are all working really good. We got the dive planes hooked up and working. We switched the props around because they were backwards before. They were spinning in. They're supposed to be spinning out. Forward dive planes are installed, and those are looking really good too. So this needs some paint. We're going to get all that kind of nastiness out of there. Probably drill some holes in the bottom, get some really good drainage for this thing. Upper hull is looking stupendously awesome. A little bit of paint and weathering, and that's going to be a pretty beastly boat. I love it. You can see we got a gigantic shark all in one piece. Basically, it's all glued together, and we fiberglassed the seams. Now, I elected to go on the outside of this just because it was a little easier to do. All of that, obviously, is going to be sanded and filled and prepped and looking beautiful. One thing that's kind of disappointing, the gentleman who commissioned this supplied the thrusters, and I don't know if you can see those or not. But basically both of them are clockwise rotation. Now, it'll work. It'll work just fine. Sharky 2.0 had same spinning props. What it does happen, though, you get a little bit of tilt at full throttle. Now, because these are massive motors, with that may be a little bit more. Talked to him about it. Of course, these are already mounted. I just installed them because that's what he sent me. And then when I mentioned it, he's like, no, I want contra rotating. So he's got another one coming, apparently later this week, which means I got to pull one of those out, hoping that the one that's coming isn't the same as those ones. Because I want this thing done. We got lots of other stuff to do here. I gotta get that. Anyhow, lots going on. But that's going to take us out for the rest of the day. Tomorrow, I'm going to focus on getting Gato done. Probably throw some paint on it today. That way it's kind of done and out of the way. You can throw it together afterwards. And then on to new and other things tomorrow. It's Wednesday, and gosh, it's coming up on lunchtime already. What did we do today? We're packing up a whole bunch of stuff. We got those kits that Ed and I went through previously. And if you're watching this, you're late, probably, because there's that 2-week delay, unless you're a DiveTribe member. Just saying. Just sold this 21. It's a Schaffer 1/40th scale German Type 21. Sold it as is. It means we don't need to do anything. That's awesome. We also took pictures of, it's buried over there, a big 1/35th scale, this is super rare, Disney Nautilus, CR 66 and a half inch Disney Nautilus. This is going to get listed up later today, my time. Hopefully by the time you see it, maybe it's still available. Rare as hen's teeth, and basically the holy grail of Disney Nautilus models. I'll be listing it up, and I'll be posting a video to show you what that kind of thing can get built into. It's absolutely amazing. I've got one set aside for myself that I've owned for years and years and years, sitting on the shelf, but that's getting listed too. Logan's been doing some work on the Gato, getting this prepped and ready for sale. We're gonna mask it off and paint the deck there. So that's coming along nicely. It's been a busy morning. A lot of paperwork and emails and stuff like that. Getting geared up for Fitz's fun float this Saturday. I want to test Seaview, Akula. Hopefully, if I can figure it out, my new Alpha that I just bought from Ed. And I think we'll be bringing that little Japanese aircraft carrier, see if we can get that thing sold too. So look for some video of that coming up. It's a Saturday event, so it'll probably drop on Sunday. Okay guys, I want to show you this Schaffer U-boat, Type 21. It's in 1/40th scale. It's my first time being next to one. This one's got some really neat stuff. I'm sure there's a cool story behind this. This is one of the boats I picked up from David during that big epic road trip a couple of weeks ago. Let's start taking a look at stuff. We'll start at the back, we'll work our way forward. What we got back here is something super interesting. This is a belt drive, which means the rudder linkages are all internal to this little skeg area up here. So there's no exposed linkages for the rudder, which is super neat. You can see this moving, and then in the stern area here is a waterproof, waterproof box with a servo in it. Now this seal is looking a little crusty right there, but in theory this drives the rudder. And then you've got internal linkages also for the dive planes, and that goes into the actual watertight box in the back. Well, one interesting choice that the modeler made, which would be super easy to rectify because you can just literally back this off, 5-bladed props. I believe these are supposed to be 3. So, yeah, maybe extra thrust. Maybe he figured more blades was better. This little area here has its own waterproof, its own cover. Goes on just like that. Which is pretty slick. These details are actually not terrible. This is interesting, this part here. There's a few neat things going on here. You got a little Schrader valve, but that's not actually a Schrader valve, it's just a nipple. Goes down and it splits into 2 stuffing boxes. So I'm assuming this is how you grease your seals, your stuffing box. So you'd squirt it in and it would pressure up both of those and fill up those 2 little stuffing boxes. Interesting. Big plexiglass lid covers everything. And the neat thing actually about it being clear is that when you look in here, it's light. You know, you can see my hand there, obviously, but it's not dark and cavernous, so you can actually see what's going on. Access may not be super awesome, but, you know, visibility certainly is. Moving forward, oh, he's got some tape going on here. Duct tape, handyman special. Looks like we had a couple of intakes for some ballast systems or something like that. It's all empty. The entire hull is gutted. And then up in the front, which I don't know if you can see or not, there's 2 servos, and then these are retracting bow planes. So they're linked together, just like that. and then you've got the linkage to raise and lower them. So this would be really easy to rig up. If this box is actually waterproof, you know, this wouldn't be a terrible thing to get going. Another interesting feature of this, though, is the fact that you do have, you know, a waterproof lid here, okay? But because of the situation of these studs, it actually interferes with the deck itself. So you can see they kind of stick out. So he just chopped a big hole. Now this would be nothing just to replace with a flat piece of plastic that would go across. What I would be tempted to do is cut these out, leave some supports, but cut this out and just drop a dual shaft cylinder in here, and you'd be kind of set to go. But if you're up for the old school challenge, you know, this has only got one big lid to it, so not a lot of sealing to do. What's interesting is he's got a big hole back here, which it looks like he probably had to cut because something went wrong. And then maybe he'll just silicone a new lid on there. That's viable too. That's viable too. All in all, it's a super cool boat. Now the bow got damaged, and Dave went ahead and 3D printed replacement bow sections in a whole bunch of different sizes and configurations. So the new owner has options about which one is going to be the best fit for the boat when it gets on. But that's just a matter of gluing it on. Super easy. So a neat boat. I just wanted to share it with you. 1/40 scale. I'm thinking this is about 6 feet long. She's a big one. It's going to build into a cool boat. We're packing it up right now, and it's coming here kind of quasi-locally. He's going to San Antonio, so off to work we go. So as you can see, we're not in the shop. We're in Houston, Pasadena, Texas, which is a suburb of Houston on like the southeast side. We're hooking up with Kurt Kramer, and Kurt is a professional monster truck driver and also a big fan of the Disney Nautilus, which is how we all came to be together. So I'm picking up a boat from him, and he promised a tour of his monster truck. The challenge is
rainy.
It's nasty out, like thunderstormy nasty out. No, you can't see anything out the back, but there is a monster truck in the parking lot. But we're gonna go inside, see if we can find him, and maybe take a look at a truck.
Oh, it's nice and cold.
So we're here with Kurt Kramer, and you're a professional monster truck.
This is all I do.
That's all you do.
That's all wrapped. That's pretty much 100% wrapped. Now we have some stuff.
Had an awesome time with Kurt. He gave us a little tour of his Nautilus. You're going to see that on next week's video, because we're just going to tune it up. Basically just install the cylinder for him and get it going. But we really wanted to help him out because this thing is going on tour all over the United States. He brings it with him. He's going to run it at like hotel pools and stuff like that. So that's going to be super cool. We did not get a chance to tour the Hotsy monster truck because it was pouring rain. And we very thoughtfully neglected to bring umbrellas or jackets. So we're going to try and fight our way back home. It should be about an hour drive through Houston rush hour. So
Hopefully an hour drive.
we'll see. Yeah. All in all, though, still super cool.
Yeah.
It's Friday. You guys know we didn't get a heck of a lot done yesterday because we took that trip in and we had a storm and then we had appointments, and so Logan did get some filling done on the Shark, and I did some work on that this morning. He is finishing up some paperwork to put on a bunch of shipments that we packed this morning. We sold a bunch of those little plastic model kits. So the I-53, the Type 9, the Shinano, which was a super cool boat. I didn't realize it was kind of so rare. So that is all done. That's what we worked on this morning, is packing up orders. All of those plus 2 other little ones. Got Shark going on. I want to talk a little bit about what we got planned for Shark. So I ordered, a bunch of batteries. I was going to start working on the watertight compartment, but then I had a little bit of a revelation, and these are completely waterproof. These are the electronic speed controllers, and they're completely encapsulated in resin, which means we can run these in the wet. And if we run those in the wet and we run a battery in the wet, the only thing in a waterproof compartment needs to be the receiver, pitch controller, and that kind of thing. So this could be, much, much smaller. So I think that's the way we're going to go. Originally, I was going to use these big 8 amp hour lithium polymer battery packs inside, but I think I'm going to go with a big 10 amp hour sealed lead acid battery, because on a Shark this big, we need weight down low anyway. So we'll put a big sealed lead acid battery down in the belly of the beast, and that'll give us power, ballast, and it'll be just out in the wet with no need to seal it, because all of sealed lead acid batteries are completely happy in the water. Just got to seal off the positive terminal. So that's what we've got going on for that. Logan is working on masking off this big Type 7, because we're going to be doing a paint job on that thing. So yeah, we got stuff and things going on today. Some revised parts for the Salon kit. I think I showed you some of these were a little different, so I changed the scale on some parts. I beefed up some parts to make them more robust. So these are the new parts for the Salon kit. We'll test fit those in a little bit. And I forgot to mention, the owner of the Shark sent me a revised thruster. So this is the opposite direction of the 2 thrusters that are already installed there. So I just got to pull out one of them, doesn't really matter which one, and swap it out for this one. Now the shroud in that one is all set up with the mounting brackets and everything. So rather than trying to redo this one and cut it all up and make that work, we're just going to swap it out so that we got the new prop or motor assembly just bolts to the old shroud, and it should just go right back in there. It's not work that I'm happy to have to undertake, because it's duplication of work. Would have been better if it would have been the right one right off the bat, but such is life. So supposedly this is a brand new Gato kit with a cylinder that I got with that other big batch of boats. This one just showed up. It's in a Franken box. It's made up of like 8 other boxes all taped together. I love it, but it held up really good. Probably better than a lot of other ones. So let's see what the heck is inside here once we get into it. Well, we're into it. Brand new kit, unstarted. That's all good, but there's no cylinder. Not cool at all. So gotta figure out where that went to. But hey, whatever. I mean, hey, it's just a whole waterproof cylinder that I paid for. So removing this is challenging. I got the lower bolt is super easy because you got these brackets right here, and then there's another one on top. We got the bolt out of that, but now because I put some sealant on here, this is stuck. So now I gotta try and pry this out. All right, Shark modification with the switch up in the propeller. This is what we needed to do. Because of the gargantuan size of these units, it became problematic to extract everything because they don't fit. These are way oversized to what this would typically see. So we did some internal modifications, like a proctologist or something, removed the old prop, and now we're going to put the new prop on the old unit. So that, in theory, will give us our contra-rotating, and then I've just got to put the shroud back on through the mouth and we should be in good shape. It's Saturday morning at about 5 o'clock in the morning. Got some emails knocked out, sent some invoices out. That's all good. I'm prepping Seaview for the pond today. Nathan is going to be coming with his trailer, and we're going to be loading up Seaview and Akula and Crockett to bring out to the Sylvan Rodriguez Park for the Fitz's Flotilla of Fun today. That we usually do once every 2-3 months. It's a lot of fun. You guys have seen me out there before. We'll be getting some footage of that. In the meantime, while I'm charging up the batteries for Seaview in my pre-mission for that boat, I'm going to do a little bit of the final filling on Brucey here, on the big shark. So that done, we'll clear up some more room, take a look at Akula, make sure that she is ready to go. And we just need to wait for Nathan to show up and we'll be off to the races. Well, we are loaded up. Time to head to the pond.
Affecting your piloting skills.
There we go. Two Crockett's, and the other one is biding his time. He might be coming out too. Yeah. Well, we got two that are the kind of yellowy gray.
Sensor lost.
Where's that one going?
End of April. In Florida.
So you shipping?
I'm gonna drive this one because it's this one, the Aula. She's on the surface. Nice. I don't know.
Probably because the throttle got pushed all the way over. The wheel got pushed all the way over. That was good.
All right, guys, it's early Saturday morning, about 4 a.m., which is why I look a little tired right now. But I wanted to get the video done for you guys so that I don't have anybody reaching out wondering where it is. Feedback on the boats. Got Seaview right here. In submerged operation, this thing is rock solid. It was absolutely beautiful to drive, held perfect periscope depth. was really quick, pretty agile too, considering the size of the boat. Surface trim was something a little different, and we knew that was going to happen. It's unstable-ish on the surface, but it looks gorgeous. Akula did really well. Only thing I really don't like about that is the massive turning circle. It's a big boat. It's 8 feet long, and it's got those little tiny rudders like all modern boats do. But again, in surface trim and submerged trim, absolutely gorgeous and a dream to operate. Just super solid when it's under the water. It was a lot of fun, and it had a lot of presence on the water. I do want to have a little shout out there for my new stand, my boat stand, transport stand. Without that, transporting these big things around would have been somewhat problematic. So I'll maybe be doing a video specifically on that, how I built it and how it works in an upcoming video. But I think with that, we are going to wrap up this week, hit the ground running, tomorrow already. And it'll be a short week next week because Good Friday on Friday. So we'll leave you with a couple of videos. Let's put one over here and one over here. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. On behalf of myself, Bob Martin, the RCSubGuy, and Logan, you have a great day. We'll catch you next time.